Good evening, everyone. It is April 26, 2023. We had a great volatile session today on the ES and NQ. News-wise, the numbers for durable goods and whatever else came in pretty good this morning. Nothing terrible. And tomorrow we have GDP pre-market quarter over quarter, unemployment numbers, 10 o'clock pending home sales. Today we did have Meta after the bell. Which I believe had good earnings, I'm going to assume, because a massive spike. I bought some 0DTE calls 5 or 10 minutes before the close and managed to get a nice little lotto play on those. Tomorrow after hours, we have Amazon earnings, and then I think that'll be it for most of their earnings this week. I think Apple is the week after that. So that's what we have news-wise. Now, looking at the tickers, what was I saying? Well, I said sellers, if you look at that top right-hand corner over here, I was saying sellers need to keep us aggressively under 4,100 on the ES. Otherwise, we're going to start rotating back up to 4,139 or so. And that's what we had. We capped the overnight at yesterday's, whatever you want to call it. It's called today's RTH. Yesterday's VWAP close kept us capped to the tick at 41.16, and we couldn't even reach there during the RTH. The RTH stayed under this kind of 41.10 level and sold off down to 40.82s. I've been talking about this level for a while. It was the base of this Friday enormous ramp, whatever that was. It was the base of that ramp session where we had no selling and just an enormous bid. So that 40.82 was that spot. We got that move off of the demand zone, but we did keep offered at that 41.10-ish area and sold to new lows on the session. End up closing around that 80-ish number, and now just kind of hovering there. Now, I mentioned this yesterday, and I'll mention it today, and this is relevant for both the ES and NQ. Our deltas are extremely heavy on the week. Not to say that they can't get lower; things can always get lower, but it's just. Sellers are using a lot of firepower and not really breaking any major structure. It's great that we held this 41.10, and it's great we got down to 40.82s, but we're not getting that sort of liquidation action that would be looking for. Today on lower time frames, you could see it was for the most part, it was quite a two-way market. It wasn't really a sell-heavy market despite the deltas. It just seems like whatever economic data keeps coming out is it's somewhat bullish. Same with the earnings. The earnings have been good so far. So that's just something to keep in mind. Now, as long as we're trading below this 41.10 number, I'm still overall biased to seeing us just fix the poor structure down to 4,009. Go fill that gap. Go tag last quarter's VWAP close at 4014.75. This level up here, down here. At least get down to 4054 quarter. We have some old weekly VWAP close and the origin of that ramp, of the Wednesday overnight ramp from March 29 and 30th. So that's what I'm seeing on the ES, is that we're not really making a lot of headway despite some really heavy sell pressure. Now on the NQ, it's a similar story. Let's pull this up. Same thing. I want to see about 950. That number was wrong. I should have really had that more so as this 990 level. And that's what we had. A lot of two-way action here. During the overnight, we held that 990 spot, came back up, kind of ran the highs and came back below, right back down to that 909-ish area, that 900-ish level. So kind of churning in this 100-point range. Now, the NQ overall has fallen more than ES. However, today failed to make any new lows. We traded simply inside yesterday's value area. So no real significant moves on the NQ, which also had some significant selling. The deltas at the lows, the weekly deltas, came in significantly lower, I believe. Yeah, significantly lower than what they were at yesterday's lows. Yesterday's lows is about negative 100,000. Today's low is about negative 130,000. So again, sellers not really getting anywhere. And these positive earnings, I imagine, are helping keep the market a little bit bid. So here's how I'm looking to trade this. There's a few key levels here. Let's go over to the ES to start. Let's throw this up on a 4-hour chart using some pretty major levels here. If we start holding this 4082 number again, like we are right now during the overnight for the past 4 hours or whatever it's been, 6 hours almost. If we hold this 80 area, where we had that ramp on that Friday session, that March 31st session, funny that it's at the end of the month again, and all we've done is come right back to this original spot a month later. If we hold this, I think we're going to go to this this weekly point of control and today's point of control, and we're going to see if we can hold it there. If we cannot, and this will be the critical test, in my opinion. This will be the test of these prior weekly lows here, of this whatever it was, the week of April 2nd. These weekly lows will be tested. If we can't hold these, I think it's going to be a breakout scenario above this 4110 number, get above these overnight highs at 4116, and we start to test this 30 to 40 area. I doubt would be making a move above there because, that's what, a 50, 60 point move. It's unlikely we got to move above that, but that's how I'm looking at the upside scenario. So if we open above 90, so if we open at today's VWAP close at 89.75, if we open right around there, I'll be taking 81s long for that move up above to 99. If we open below somewhere around the 75-ish number, I think we can get a short going at 92 because the market will have proven a little bit weaker. But so far, I'm looking to take that 81 number up and ride it to about that 99 spot. That should be the short, and if it doesn't hold, I think we rotate back up to this upper balance. This sort of thing, this balance here. We start to rotate up to here. To the downside, I'm interested in 4065 from this March 30th session where we ramped off of. It's also the 95% value area low from that session. It's also right around, I think there's a weekly half back around there or something like that. Yeah, 61. So it's right around there. Below there, I start to get really interested at 40.54 quarter, that being a weekly VWAP close, that also being right around the March value area high and the 87% March value area high at 54s. And that's been a spot that's been important for well over a year now, going back to 2021, I think, or 2022. It's been an important number, that 40.54 spot. Below there, 40.41 quarter, where we had this weekly POC and daily POC, and this huge origin. That's where the volume was conducted that allowed the push upwards. So those are my 3 spots I'm looking to buy the dip tomorrow. On the NQ, 8 minutes. Oh no. Got to go a bit faster. On the NQ, not looking too short biased, as you can tell. Looking to buy 596 half as the lowest number. Just pulling up my other chart here on another screen. 596 half, that is a weekly value area low, 95%. And if on lower time frames, on something like a 30-minute, you can see this was held numerous times right around this 12,600 level. Up above 732's awesome level. That's also the price close of a gap right there. Above there, 854 3/4. I think I'm going to get rid of that one. Yes, I'm going to get rid of that one. Not interested in it just because that puts us below today's lows, and I think it starts to target these lows down here. And for now, that would mean that we're accepting into that spike. And I'm not interested. I am interested in 882's long. That's where we closed. That's where the value area lows, all the different percent value area lows are sitting around there. That's also where we had the first standard deviation of March's VWAP, and it's been just a really awesome level. If we zoom out here, we can see it was a swing point numerous times there. 930. Yeah, there you go. Numerous times holding. So I like that spot for a long. If we open above 982, so in other words, if we open above last week's low right there, if we open above there, I'll be looking to take 970 half long. Pretty pretty clear that it's been an important level this week. I missed it just shortly by a few points there in the morning for a short, but a very important level. And if we gap up and ES is above 4080s, I'll be looking to take 13,009 3/4 long, where I was long, I think, on Monday or something like that. And I can't remember what happened to that trade. I think I was long there. I can't recall. Above there, getting short 49/4. That is a point of control and sort of the origin of this week's sell-off. And then above there, getting short 87 3/4. And above there, not too interested in it. So, sorry for the long video. Just a lot to kind of go through in my head. But looking to mostly play the long side. I just until I see evidence of sellers really managing to get something going to the downside, I'm a bit biased towards this squeezing. Especially with it being end of month, it becomes difficult to see this thing piling in a lot heavier to the short side. So, hope that makes sense. Hope that helps. Almost guaranteed to be an update to this pre-market based off those GDP numbers. So that'll be posted to Twitter per usual. Have a great night and trade safe.